Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got dropped not even 1 minute into this race. Hey cycling community, this is Steve Grusis the Cycling Greek. Well, it all started 2 days ago. One of the AFib rules I developed about 8 years ago when I had my first AFib attack was not to race any ultra events. Yet, this is what I did this past Saturday. 100-mile event. I wish it had a few more degrees, and then I just turned 40% chance of rain at Pine Flat. My plan was to stick with the fast guys. Within a half mile, a few of us took the wrong turn. We chased for over 2 miles, and thank goodness for the red light. At mile 21, I started my demise and came off at the rollers. I got together with another dropped rider and we worked together for a few miles, but he pulled off at the top of a small climb. I, of course, kept chasing. At the rest stop at the top of the wall, there were no fast guys there, so I continued to chase. Hooking up with another rider, we worked together and caught 2 more. We connected with a couple more, then on the 45-mile mark, we were on the penultimate climb. After a couple miles, my strength dissipated, and I was off the back, heading toward the top, where you then descend for 5 miles, turn around, and then come back up another steep climb. Is this the turnaround point? Well, it is for me. After a much-deserved rest, I took off, and as I was taking off, I caught sight of the leader coming up the other side. My plan was to get to the last major descent before the flats before they caught me. Well, they caught me before that descent and dropped me on one of the small climbs. Thank goodness they took their time when they got to this rest stop. They were all taking their time, so I took off before they did, just so I can get over some small bumps before they caught me, just in case. For the next 20-25 miles, I was at times barely hanging onto their wheel. Until we finally made it back to the cars. Almost 99 miles in 5 3/4 hours. When I first got in, I was not happy with how I did and figured I had a lot of things I needed to work on. Now, not so much. That was Saturday. On Sunday, I did a Zwift event where I was able to actually qualify for the team uniform that I'm wearing now, but as is the case for most of these rides, the advertised speed was not always adhered to. I wanted to do this race on Monday, so I did all the right recovery stuff, but I'm almost 68. When you're old, things just take longer to recover from. I'm feeling a little bit better, and there's a small group that's ahead of us. I have the Ghost power-up, which I understand has been extended another 5 seconds. So I employed that. I'm digging in what I can for my unrecovered body, and I'm making my way up to those 2 up there. So I see them there. They're kind of like rabbits, so that encourages me to keep on with the wattage, which I'm not even hitting 350 watts. But I am catching up to them. And looking at the graphics at the bottom, the others are not catching up to me. That cobble climb is where most of the action takes place. That was our 4th trip up, and that means we're just about halfway done with this race. The group that I jumped from caught us a little over a lap later. This is now the 7th lap, and we're heading into that cobbled climb. I have the Ghost power up again, and now I'm going to make a bid to just try and stay away from these guys for an entire lap. On the surface, that seems like a stupid tactic. Ordinarily, I don't have much of a sprint, and with the sucky power I displayed at the beginning of this race, I figure this will be my best attempt. Maybe I'll catch these guys off guard. Maybe they'll think, hey, that's pretty stupid, figuring I'll die out pretty quick. As it turns out, I didn't die out. Those guys didn't catch me, and I'm actually catching another group as we're heading into that final cobbled climb again. Now, the only power-up I had that I just activated is the drafting boost, and it's better than a kick in the ass. The group is splitting up. I'm trying to stay with the front 2 riders who have the other power-ups to my drafting boost power-up, and they're starting to pull away. I'm now having trouble going into the 300s with my power. And if I do, it's on the very low end. I used a lot of bananas chasing just to get up to where I am now. I'm now doing what's called active recovery. I'm trying to recover under stress, but my wattage is so low it's like I'm just spinning easy to recover. And I've got less than half a mile to go. Fortunately, it looks like the 2 that are with me are just as tired as I am. Their watts per kilogram are not much higher than mine. So at the end of this straight is going to be about a 135-degree turn, and that's going to take us into the roller section, and typically I do okay with the roller section. I'm still way below 200 watts, and as we enter it, so typically what I do is I apply power on the up and rest a little bit on the down, apply power on the up, and again rest a little bit on the down part. We have one more little roller, but this time I apply power going on the up and I sustain it over the top because we're just about at the finish. It's like 2/10 of a mile to go. But I don't have a lot of bananas left, so I rest a little bit as we're going to go around the corner. Maybe I'm thinking I'm going to jump him. Somebody's actually jumping us I'm actually doing something that I haven't done before, standing to sprint so I can stay with him. How I'm getting close to 500 watts, I'll never know. I keep it up, he starts to die out, I sustain it, and boom. I take the field sprint. Well, not really, because there were those two guys ahead of us. I hope you enjoyed this video and you got something out of it. What you could get out of it, I have no idea, but I hope you did. As always, remember, comment, like, subscribe. The Cycling Greek.